Okay, now we're doing Monday, October the 8th. Now, I'm going to have to help me with this. Monday, October the 8th, and God gave me change. It's time for a change. So today is the day of a change for you. Today is the day marks a whole new shift in your life. You know, we may look the same, put on the work uniform, the same work uniform. Our hair may still be the same. You know, we may drive the same car, but our life is changed, and it's time for that change. And I'm excited about your change. I'm excited about what God is doing in your life, my life, everybody's life. He's doing it right now. He's making the change. I heard that song, "It's time to make a change." You know, so now that it's time to make a change, it's time, that you can do it. You can change your life. You can transform your life. Your life is not going to be the same after today. Monday, October the 8th. You can expect your change. When you wake up, put your clothes on in the morning. You might put your right leg in first, or your pants, or your left leg. I don't know, but we switching it up. We flipping the script. Today is a day of change. I promise you. It's like, the way you think, the way you look, the way you act, it's just different. It's time for that change. So many times we've talked about changing. I want to change my look. I want to change my style. I want to change my flow. But it's the interchange first. See, what's on the inside will work on the outside. So expect your interchange, because when the mindset changes, the body will change, because the mind tells the body what to do. So that's what I'm hearing first. The words is, I have the power to make change. And it takes power to change. It really takes a mindset, a renewed action or thought process to really change. Say for instance, if you're saying, after today I ain't smoking no more. I don't smoke anything anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm not smoking no cigarette weed. I'm not smoking anything anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. It takes a power to do that, because our mouth can say anything. But does our body line up with it? Does our actions line up with the change that we've spoken over our lives? And that's what I see. Today is the day of that change, that we're not just talking about it, we're walking that thing. We're going to walk it like we talk it today. So your change has come on today to say, enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm going to get my credit together. If your credit jacked up, I'm changing that. I'm going to pay my bills on time. I'm going to set aside, if I got to work some extra hours, I'm going to get that money so I can make sure I change my credit. So when I walk up and sign my name on something, I will not be rejected any longer. I will be respected. Come on here. Y'all want to be respected, not rejected any longer. So you're going to make a change concerning your credit. I just see you making some boss decisions, some moves, that, normally you wouldn't really too much pay attention to or too much care about, because this is a time for your change. This is your change. And in your change, it comes with a new mindset, because it starts inner and then it works on the exterior. Because like I said, it's easy to get a new wardrobe. It's easy to just go buy some new clothes or a new fresh pair of Jordans. That ain't no change. That ain't no change. Because you went from the 11s to the 12s. That's not a change. A change is when you change your mindset. When you say, I had enough. I'm not finna act like this anymore. I'm not finna be cussing around here, fussing and fighting and acting a fool any longer. I have changed. I am transformed. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's literally what I see, if it's a renewal of your mind. This change that is up on the horizon. And also I have, if I follow my inner wisdom, I am at peace with my own being. So there's an intuition and inner wisdom. There's an inner knowledge. We all know right from wrong. We know what's good, bad. We know right from wrong. But there's an inner wisdom to say, you don't need to do that. You don't need to go over there. There's that still small voice that speaks to us in our inner ear. That's a wisdom to say, it's time to grow up. And one of my favorite verses is when Paul said, When I was a child, I spoke as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And I just see people putting away some childish things, childish behaviors, childish ways, childish thought processes. You know, that's not, it's no longer, now when I was 20, you know, I could do 20-year-old stuff. But when I'm 40, you can't do 20-year-old stuff when you're 40, because then you look a fool. And we ain't trying to look like no fool. It ain't really about what anybody else thinks. It's about what you think about you. It's about how you're processing the stuff. You know, how you're changing yourself to making your dreams become your reality. See, I don't want my dreams to be pipe dreams. I want my dreams to be reality. I want my dreams to come to fruition. Okay, so I'm going to use my inner wisdom. I'm going to use my power to change things. I'm going to use my power to speak over my own life, because power is life and death in the power of our own tongue. So I'm going to use my power. I'm going to use my words. I'm going to transform my vocabulary. Instead of using 4 or 5 letter words, I'm going to use a greater vocabulary, a bigger vocabulary, because, you know, kids know 4 or 5 letter words. You know, but when adults come to be, you know, on their grown man or their grown woman stuff, they don't use those type of words. You know, I get my point across in a different way or a different manner by using, you know, better words. Now, my next thing is I trust myself in the process of life. So life is a process. Your change is a process. You know, we wake up tomorrow and the change is starting. It's a process. You know, my whole life has been a process. Your whole life has been a process. Because like I said, when I was 20, I did 20-year-old things. But at 40, you don't do 20-year-old things any longer. So you've processed. You've grown up in so many ways. You made changes, you know. You're not easy to walk away from things that you've invested in like you were when you were 20. You know, it didn't make no difference. You know, like, oh, well, you know, I'm out of here. You know, but now that you're in a different mindset, you're walking into your change, you cannot just, you know, do 20-year-old things at 40. You can't do 30-year-old things at 50. So there is a change. And it's time to make a change. I just heard that song again in my spirit. And this change is coming for your good. It's for your highest good, your greatest good. No more shallowness, you know, because it's easy to be shallow, you know, no depth to you, you know, your word ain't your bond, you know, you telling people stuff you're going to do and you ain't doing it. You know, it's time out for all that. It's time to grow up, man up, woman up, and make this change. And I know it does take power. It does. It takes a power to change, you know, you've been the same way all your life. I hope not. Well, I hope some of y'all are involved in some kind of way. But if you have been, you know, this way for a while, where you haven't, you know, paid attention to things you've slacked on or paid attention to what you lacked in, you know, it's time for that change. It's time to say, you know what? I'm not going to be like this. You know, I have to evolve. I'm taking off my own grave clothes. I'm setting myself free, because who the Son set free is free indeed. And surely I'm about to set myself free from all the distractions, all the hurdles of life. I'm setting my affections on things above and not beneath. You know, because if you keep your eyes on God, you're destined not to fall. You know, I do prison ministry first Saturday of every month. And you know, one of the inmates had said, and I thought it was powerful, you know, that if they would have stayed with God, stayed in church, none of them would be in prison, you know. And I guess that's sometimes can be easier said than done, because we're all on different levels in our spirituality. But I say that to say that if you do keep your eyes on God, you're destined not to fall. You will not fail. There will be a change in your life. You know, old habits, old thought processes, they will drop off of you if you keep your eyes on God. And sometimes it seems hard, you know how to stay with God or how to stay in touch with God. But God said, I'll make it easier for you. You know, when he gave the disciples the prayer, he didn't give a long drawn out prayer. He gave a 1-minute prayer. You know, our Father, which art in heaven, you know, so he's not requiring, you know, you to know 50,000 scriptures. You know, not literally 50,000, but he's not requiring you to, you know, recite scriptures or quote scriptures, but he's requiring you some time. Much is given, much is required, and he's requiring some of your time. He's requiring these things for he can help you change, because We all have the I can't help it. It's things that I couldn't help before either. So when we have those I can't help it, he wants to bring about a change to help you so you can help it. Okay? So remember, it's time for a change. God bless you all.